I had just come back from a job in Chicago. I was in a sublet in Washington Heights. And as I do, as every actor does, we're looking at the breakdowns of the auditions to happen this month, this week. And I saw this production of Fiddler on the Roof in Yiddish. Obviously I had learned, there had to be some point in my past I knew what Yiddish was. It slipped my mind. And I saw this, I didn't really know what Fiddler on the Roof was. I knew it was about Jews and I knew there were Russians in it. I didn't know if I was quite right. And then so I was sitting in bed. It was probably a morning audition, otherwise I would have just gone like that. It was a 10 a.m. call, and no one likes to dance at 10 a.m. So I was just wondering to myself, do I even want to go to this? Alas, I dragged myself out of bed, because it mentioned folk dancing, and I do like folk dancing. So I dragged myself out of bed, went to the dance call. Sure enough, of course I had fun because it was folk dance. Mind you, a week and a half later, I was still sore from doing the folk dance. I could not walk up or downstairs. But I got a call back, and at the callback, I sang, and then they hand us a sheet of lines in Yiddish. Our dialect coach, Monroe Stevko, was there, and he was there to say the line, and you repeat it for him. I looked at this sheet of Yiddish lines. And mind you, one of my hobbies is studying languages. I love this. He said the lines, and I was looking at the page, and I had a sigh of relief because I looked at the words, and I had studied German as a hobby in the past. And so I looked at the words, I'm like, oh, thank God, I recognize it somewhat. But then I discovered as he was speaking it, it's a different accent. And obviously there are a lot of Slavic and Hebrew influences in this language. So that was a hurdle to get over. I guess I did satisfactorily. So I ended up getting another call back. I was reading lines and sang a verse from the rumor, which I now do in the show. And one thing led to another. I was between a rock and a hard place because I had another job offer for last summer. And originally, Fiddler wasn't supposed to run so long. So I was really on the fence, but also I hadn't worked in New York in such an acting capacity before. And this was a well-known summer stock theater. Looking back now, the frustration I was having seems totally bogus because the answer was clear. Obviously, I needed to take this job, even though, admittedly, the pay wasn't so great. But I was going back and forth between these two jobs for a while. I settled on Fiddler, had to turn on the other job. Thank God I did, because it was a short summer stock contract. And Fiddler has really taken off. It's really astounding. And like I said, I never thought I'd be on stage in New York City performing in another language in a show that has gotten so much acclaim in another language. The whole thing is blowing everyone's mind right now. But I think each and every one of us couldn't be happier to be in the place we are now.
So it sounds like you personally have been surprised by the success of the show.
150%. I mean, like I said, as an actor, we're always searching for the next job because nothing is forever. This is my longest running show at this point. It's also my first show that was ever extended for any reason. So last year when we opened mid-July, and the word was already out from our CEO that the show was sold out and that we needed that extension, it was great news. It was an extra week of work. And then it turns out we sold that out and we had the option to extend again, which was really cool. And before we know it, we're extending through the end of the year. The whole situation is unbelievable. But I think it just goes to show how good this production is, how great the show is itself, how it was written, and the effect it's having on the entire world. And as a performer in such a thing, there's no greater feeling to know that you're actually affecting your audience in a good and positive way. And not just this audience in New York City, the entire world, because people are talking about it, which is the most fascinating thing and inspiring. Because this is the message that needs to be retold in 2019. And we all firmly believe that in the cast.